Hello, and welcome. Today, we'll be talking about Tyl Regor. Most of us know him as the eccentric, charismatic, and downright brutal mad scientist of the Grenier. His goal is clear. He wants to cure the cloning decay syndrome, and he's built many underwater research facilities in the murky depths of Uranus's ocean. His research has bore fruit in the form of his tube men, as he so quaintly calls them. And these tube men are stronger and healthier than normal Grenier. But what some of us may not know is that once upon a time, Tyl Regor experimented on his volunteer test subject, Durnham, in his endeavor to develop an experimental body augmentation. Unfortunately, the results were half as successful as he wanted them to be, as the augmentation instead left him sluggish and unresponsive, only becoming fit for combat when he receives pain. Unfit for duty, the former test subject became an executioner in the pits of Rathum, the only place where he could find the steady diet of torment and suffering he needed to survive. In Tyl Regor's never-ending search to cure his brothers of clone rot, his research attracted the attention of Alon V. At the time that his attention was grabbed by Tyl, he was attempting to undo the infestation that he was afflicted with, and he saw Regor's research as the key to his cure. Alon V's intentions to acquire Regor's research for himself, unfortunately, alarmed Nef Anyo, who sees both the tube men and Alon V as a threat to his position in the Corpus Board. Although, if we're being honest, a 6-year-old girl is a threat to Nef Anyo, and is far more of a man than he will ever be. Alon V and Nef Anyo make deals with the Tenno in order to raid Regor's laboratories to either retrieve or destroy Regor's research. After this fiasco concluded, Tyl continued to search other avenues. Tyl at one point hired Maru to find and retrieve a piece of the arcane codices inside an Orican derelict. However, as Maru had a general dislike of the Grenier, she gave them a fake codex instead, and sold the original to the Corpus, which is not the best of ideas, as nobody should have that. We wouldn't want Corpus to be making their own augmented cybernetic super soldiers, now would we? Not that that stopped them before, with Alon V's amalgams. But it's best not to pour gas into a forest fire. I guess Maru never met Smokey the Bear. Enraged by her betrayal, Tyl Regor ordered his men to hunt down Maru, to retrieve the codex, and to kill her if necessary. However, the Grenier would come into contact with the Tenno instead, as the Tenno had taken Maru under their custody for her protection. But this did not stop him. He is obsessive in his work to cure the clone rot. And this brings us to Citrin's last wish. Tyl led an assault team on to Tyana's Pass, believing that the crystals of Belric and Rania contained special genes that he could use to enhance his tube men. It is currently unclear whether Tyl Regor's involvement in this game mode occurs before or after the events of the Natah questline, but he is absolutely adamant to leave no stone unturned. At some point after the events of Stolen Dreams, Tyl comes across the tombs of a long-forgotten Orican artificial species. As a result, the sectors of Uranus were haunted by what seems to be floating spectral ghosts. I never knew Uranus was haunted, and many people have come and gone to Uranus. Have they not? My. Some even died there. He was haunted by floating spectral ghosts, glowing in blue, known as oculists. Tyl's intercepted messages further clarifies his intent to excavate the sentient tomb to uncover the artifacts within, in hopes of assisting his own research. causing the Tenno to take immediate action to stop his excavation, as stronger Grineer would be a problem in the very near future. During the mission to foil Tyl's objective, he expressed an apparent interest of how the sentients had destroyed the Orokin. After all, during their height, they were thought to be more than human, demigods. Fully aware of the threat, he continues on despite the danger, and uncovers the tomb, discovering primordial technology from the Orokin era, before he encounters an unknown entity, known to no one, Grineer, Corvus, Tenno alike, who eventually reveals himself to be none other than the massive, sentient sea rock. Now, the unexpected appearance of this sentient prompted the Grineer general to order a retreat of all his units, leaving the Tenno to steal the awakened entity along with his drones, much to Regor's extreme dismay. Angered by the Tenno intervention, he challenges them to come and fight him head-on, wanting a Grineer justice done by his own hands for indirectly sabotaging his research. We do not know very much about Tyl, other than the fact that his sole purpose is to cure the Grineer clone rot, and that he believes the Grineer to be superior, that he wants them to sweep across the solar system and then the galaxy, crush any resistance and control all, ruling over them as the superior faction, not too dissimilar from the Orokin. However, I bid you this question. Could Tyl be converted to our side, to the side of the Tenno? Or is he, unfortunately, too much like a certain person from a certain part of German history? Is it simply that we misunderstand? That it's not necessarily that he feels he and his Grineer brothers are superior to all. Maybe it is that he acts as though to keep his own morale alive, to keep his own motivation awake and thriving, to achieve his goal. In any case, his brutality is not the subject up for debate. It is fact. But who in this universe among us is a stranger to brutality? Collectively, we Tenno have killed enough Corpus, Infestation, Grineer, and Corrupted to be logged as multiple levels of genocide. Sure, we have good intention, but it does not wash away the blood that stains our hands, our blades, the barrels of our guns, and our armor. We are the hero that everyone wants, but we are also the monster that everyone needs in order to survive. That is the duality of the Tenno. He is objectively a bad guy, but others have defected before. Call. He was just a normal Grineer, before he saw that the only ones that care about him and his brothers are him and his brothers. The Queen would throw them into the meat grinder no different than beef, and he seceded from them. The difference with Tyl is that he is all about his brothers. He is all about making them better, stronger, faster. He is all about turning them into the apex organism of the solar system. Could Tyl actually be converted to our side? He is a genius after all. But sometimes genius is clouded by arrogance, tainted by it, and in other cases made to wither. Is there some way we could reach him? Some way that we could cut through his superiority complex and reach his side of, and I use heavy air quotes with this, compassion for his brothers? Is there a way that we could get to him, or at the very least, use him as a weapon against the Corpus scum? Maybe. Maybe not. But at the end of the day, I do want to see more of him. He is a very fun character, and one of my favorites. His voice actor absolutely killed the recordings, each and every time. I do hope we see more of him, and I hope you enjoyed this little dive into Tyl Regor. I don't know about you, but I'm getting very excited now.